Hey, what's up everybody? Benny P here with Lively Lakes Fly Fishing and Living for the Outdoors. And as you can see in my hand is a piece of garlic. This is garlic cloves right here. We have a couple peppers. And the reason why my hunt is starting like this is because I'm going to run you through a quick meal that I like to eat while I'm out on a hunt. The hunt I'm going on is going to be a 3-day hunt. It's going to take me to Ohio, and the property we have out there, we don't have a place to actually stay other than a 30 by 30 building without running water or electricity. So it's very important for us to have preparation done before we leave. So follow along. I'm going to show you a great meal that is going to feed me and give me energy for 3 days out in Ohio. After my meal's prepared, I'm going to pack everything up and head out to Ohio and see if I can't get into one of those big bucks on video. Peppers and garlic are ready. Some celery is ready. Over to the stove. Now you can see I have the peppers and the garlic, celery. I do have baby carrots. That's a bag of baby carrots. Sweet corn. These diced tomatoes, the ones that I like to get have basil and garlic and oregano in them. Sometimes they call them an Italian mix. I have my green beans, whole potatoes, and some beef stock. And it's this simple. You just take your ingredients one after another, dump them into your bowl. I have already opened up these cans and drained the vegetables. The only vegetable I don't drain are these tomatoes. I leave that. Everything that's in there is going in, but the corn, the beans, the potatoes, they got drained. So I'm just going to add everything. Tomatoes, beef stock. You can also use beef broth. Pop my second one open. You can see that broth is right up at the top of the vegetables. We're going to get this simmering, and while this is simmering, I'm going to cut up the deer meat that I'm going to put in this. Okay, I have everything away from the heat. I'll clean this up in a second, and in order to get this simmering, I'll turn the heat up on my stove. 6 works well. And once I see that starting to get a boil, you don't want to turn it up too hot and possibly burn something in there. But if I turn it on 6, it'll get to temperature pretty fast. And once I see them starting to boil, then I'll turn it down to like 2 or low, and that'll just keep it simmering. I will also put the lid on there, and that holds the heat in there, and that cooks it really well. While we're letting those vegetables get up to heat, I just cut myself up an awesome piece of backstrap. Danny Z shot a buck yesterday. I went over, helped him out of the woods with it, and he was kind enough to give me both of his backstraps. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this up. Now everybody has a different size that they like their cube meat in, like their beef stew meat. This is probably the best stew meat you ever get, and I'm going to cut it up in the size that I like. You can see I cut them into chops, and I'll take each one of those chops and I'll cut those down into just small pieces of cubed meat. See how nice that cuts up. Backstrap heaven right there. That's as good as it gets. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some olive oil on this, some seasoning. I am going to sear it, and then we're going to throw it in our pan. Alright, got my olive oil. I like this one. It's extra light taste, and it sure is a light tasting olive oil. Pour a little bit of that on there. And the seasoning I like to put on is this. It's called a buttery steakhouse. I don't know if you ever tried it, but this is an awesome seasoning. I season a lot of things with this. Try not to over season. Don't need all the extra salt, but pour that on there, and then you just have to take your hands and mix it all together. We're going to let this sit for a minute. I'm going to go back over to the stove. I'm going to get a pan out, and I'm going to turn it on the same heat that I have the vegetables heating up at, number 6, and I'm going to throw this meat in there and I'm going to sear it. Alright, our pan's there. It's been on heat number 6. It's plenty hot, so we're going to start adding the venison now. Veggies are to boil now. Venison is good to go. Going to go ahead and drop the venison in. Turn that down to about number 2 or low. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll just make sure it's at a simmer. Turn off our other side. Grab the lid. Put it back on there. A few minutes, I'll stir that all up good. Keep an eye on it. Make sure it stays to a simmer. And we're going to go ahead and set the kitchen timer for 3 hours. So in 3 hours, this will be good. Everything will be tender, and this will be good to go. Quick little update, we're at the half-hour mark. I've given it a nice stir. You can see we're at a good simmer, and everything's looking great. Okay, gonna have to apologize. Things got a little bit ahead of me today. Had to get my girls to practice, and my nephew Owen shot a buck. Congratulations to him, and we headed out there and saw it. So I'm just getting back to this. But at the 3 hour mark, I turned the heat off. I let it sit here. It's cooled down. It's just lukewarm now, and there's the finished product. As you can see, it looks like a bowl or two has been taken out of there, and that's because my wife got home and she saw that I made something, and she had a couple bowls and said it was delicious. And that's what you get. I had a couple bowls myself just now. That's what's left in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and eat that up now, and 4 nice portions for the weekend. Alright, since you saw what my main course is going to be when I come out of the woods, let me go ahead and show you what I'll be eating in the woods. Pickled eggs, that's my #1 thing. I like to eat eggs when I'm in the woods. Apples are awesome. These tuna creations are very simple and they're easy to take in with you. There's a little bit of sound with these packets, but they're not real crinkly, so I'll just leave them in there and I'll eat it from there. And then I have a mixed fruit with the cherry. Come up here, what I'll be drinking, I have my Powerade Zeros or Powerade Zero Sugar, and then these here are Body Armor Lights. I think those drinks are excellent. In the morning, I will percolate coffee, and then I get my eggs from Jeff Wasson, farm fresh eggs, and I'll be eating 3 or 4 of these a morning. Well, that'll do it for the venison stew video. I'd like to thank everybody for following along. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, best of luck in the outdoors.